Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing another banger, back to back to back. Today we have another special guest, man. Wow. This guy right here goes by Taz, and he is a Fresno Bulldog. What up, Taz? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
For sure, bro. So I know we were chopping it up a little bit before, and the reason why I'm so interested about this interview is because nobody has really spoken to Bulldogs, right? Like that like on a neutral playing ground. They're usually fighting you guys,
Oh,
man.
yeah, of course. That's what we do. I mean, we're
So
against everyone.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, man. So tell us where you grew up, dude.
I grew up, well, of course, I'm from Fresno. I grew up on the east side of Kings and Chestnut. Um, Pretty much, I've been there my whole. I'm still in the town. I'm still in the hood in the east side. Just moved in a different residence. Um, Went to Kings Canyon Middle School. Went to Roosevelt on the east side. Um, Pretty much, that's where I lived. I've been around Fresno my whole life.
So Fresno, because I was actually born in Hanford, just like right there neighboring. But I moved away when I was an infant, so I don't remember jack about that place.
Right.
How is Fresno big? How many high schools are there in that area, just to get an idea?
Oh wow. We got Roosevelt, Fresno High, McLean, Bullard, Hoover. Probably about more than 10 high
Oh,
schools.
that's a lot then. That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, because where I'm from, Brawley, California, we only have one high school, so that's kind of why I was
Oh yeah. Now
asking.
we got a few high schools out here.
Okay, it sounds big, but is Fresno small enough where everybody knows everybody?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. If you're out there like that, then yeah, you're gonna know everybody. You're gonna know somebody to know somebody.
Okay, cool. Um, how much gang influence or gangs in the city of Fresno?
Well, what do you
Like
mean?
like 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 percentage wise, like you got is everybody bang? Does half the people? Is there people that just regularly
Oh,
chill?
majority are gangs out here. Majority are dogs out here. If family related,
Damn.
majority you're gonna be in a gang. Somebody that's related to you or a friend of yours. If not, you yourself.
Okay. Now there's I've talked to other individuals, and like you said, family. Is that something that your path followed? Like your family members, were they Fresno Bulldogs?
Actually, no.
How
All my family are from up north.
how did this come about, man? How did you
Uh,
get
my
into it?
mom, my mom actually moved out here. Um, Before I was born out. She moved from San Jose. She came over here, and that's when I was born out here. So I was pretty much raised in, grew up in the hood. And my mom, she worked a lot. I mean, she was a single mother, and she was do what she can to provide. And me, pretty much adapted to my homeboys down the street, and I started pretty young. So I
How
was
old were
out
you?
there, and actually I was 11, started to hang around 11, 10. I got put in when I was 12
Into the Fresno Bulldogs.
into the Fresno Bulldogs.
Um Now wasn't were they called something else before that?
We were
F14?
F-14. And then before that, we were Fresno Boys. That's before my time, though.
Before your time?
Yeah.
So when you came in, was it F14 or was it already
It
Bulldog?
was it was already F-14. That's when my generation before me, the older homies, they were pushing that pretty strong out here. And then when I got locked in juvenile hall, I had already tattooed a F-14 on me, and they're like, "We're not repping that no more. We dropped the 14. We just were banging the F. It's Fresno Bulldogs." So I'm like, "All right." But back then it wasn't. After F-14, there was just side, east side, north side, and then there was like park side. Those were the ones that Calloway. Those were the ones that were kind of like starting Fresno. So I grew up in the biggest town and started the east side. That's where everybody started pretty much.
Who were your guys' enemies?
The southerners and the northerners,
Right off the bat, right out the
right
gate.
off the back, right
Was
off
there
the bat.
were there any northerners or southerners in Fresno?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there was?
Oh yeah. there was, but they weren't that many. But at that time, they were trying to establish themselves, and pretty much, we kind of shut that down through the '90s. So, but there's
Damn.
still some out here, but they know where they have their little parts of the town, pretty much where they stay to. But majority of out here are dogs. If you come out here, you're gonna see somebody wearing something of Bulldogs on them, even if they're a fan of the team.
Oh, I know, bro. I know. I be watching these YouTube videos. That's why I'm excited about this interview, man, because I have so many questions. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, you said were you guys warring in the '90s? You know, LA was off the hook in the '90s. Was Fresno like that? At
Oh
also,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The '90s was cracking. It was going off for reals. And back then we didn't have social media like this. We didn't have. No, we did not. And when we were out there, we were out there cruising. It was big out there. We pretty much took over the streets. To this day, we still do that. We, you go cruising, we're out there. I was just out there yesterday.
back then, acts of violence
Oh yeah,
on the
big
reg.
violence. Oh yeah, man, it was on site, shooting back and forth. Pretty much we'd go to them. They lived like on the other side of the street. I lived on Kings and Chestnut on this side, and they lived on the other side of the busy street. But it was just a block, and pretty much we'd go over there and we do what we do, and they'd come back over here and they return the same thing that we gave them.
Any casualties on either side?
Oh yeah, there's always casualties, always. And that's just what it is in this type of lifestyle.
Right. Any Fresno Bulldog members that were in and out of prison or that would come out of prison and talk to you guys and share stories?
Um, not like that, but we had our homeboys that we knew that were older homies and that just got out, and they wouldn't try to like school us, but they try to let us know what it was in there for them when they came out here, and what we're not expected to do, but what was changing. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Now we're gonna go because I asked you, man. I asked you before we did our interview. I'm like, hey, don't trip. I'm not gonna ask you that's gonna get you in trouble or anything like question like that. You're like, nah. I
Right.
said, what are you guys' rules? You're like, we don't have rules.
No.
And that is, check this out, man, because I'm from down south, right? I worked at Centinela State Prison and then Donovan. I don't know if you
Hmm.
guys realize this or not, but you guys are like talked about. Like, hey, those bulldogs, man, those bulldogs are wild. They don't listen to nobody, right? Like they fucking fight.
Right.
Are you aware that you guys have that reputation throughout the state of California?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm very well aware. Very well aware. And we in there we're not even known as a gang, a prison gang. We're known as a disruptive group, and that's exactly what we live up to. We live up to that name. We're disruptive.
How do you feel about that? How do you personally feel about that reputation of your gang?
Proud.
Proud?
Oh yeah.
I could see that. You know what I mean? Like I could see why that would be a reason to be proud, right? Especially knowing what I know now and what you guys have been through.
Right.
You guys have been up against the world, man. It's still
Yeah.
standing.
Oh yeah. We're still going strong, and we're gonna continue that.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So no rules. Is that a thing? Oh man, because I only talked to one previous bulldog, and is that because you guys just don't want to follow under a hierarchy or follow the rules of another man?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're grown men. Why should we listen to the next? You know what I mean? We're our own persons. Why should we do what we're told? We ain't kids no more. We're grown men. And not just that. Like, why should we do and then have to pay and do what we have to do for you? You know what I mean? That's what it is.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, if a decision wanted to be made, is that like a group decision, an individual decision? Like, hey, you know what? We should probably go over here and do this or go over there. How does that decision base?
Um, it just depends on what it is. It just depends as far as if we're gonna crack something off, or it just depends on the situation to be a group decision. You know what I mean? But majority of the things, if one homeboy wants to take off on somebody, then by all means, go ahead. It's on you. You know what I mean? But if it's an opposition, then one goes, we all go. Fresno, we stick together as one. You know, when we're going against the oppositions or anybody else, we all go. You know what I mean? No questions asked.
It's remarkable considering the numbers difference, the numbers
Oh
game.
yeah, always outnumbered. Always,
Always outnumbered.
always.
What is your thought process on going up against a battle being outnumbered, like the movie 300?
Pretty much. We're not worried about that. You know, because at the end of the day, we really hold our own. We stand on ours, and we maintain that reputation to this day. And we're gonna continue that as far as, to be honest, a lot of us got hands. You know what I mean? We got some mitts, and a lot of us stand up to that. And even if it's on a 10 to 31, 30 on us and 10 of us, I guarantee you we're gonna sleep at least four or five, maybe more of them. You know, but at least we're gonna stand our own and we're gonna maintain.
So I can relate. I can relate because I had a partner. He was a lieutenant as well, and I told him, when I see a guy, and if I gotta fight him, in my head I don't lose. Right in my head I don't lose. I don't
Exactly.
ever picture losing. Even
Right.
if even if I'm gonna get fucked up, I'm never gonna picture myself losing.
Right. Exactly. It's not the size of the person. It's the heart and the mentality. It's like I don't care how big you are. There ain't no fear right here. We're gonna. I'll go win or lose, but You're not gonna dominate me at all.
That mindset and that reputation with the Fresno Bulldogs, do you foresee that continuing generation after generation?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially with the younger homies, they're maintaining and they're doing very well. You know, they might be a little bit wild, but we always were.
Are
Just
are these
go ahead.
youngsters family members of other older homies?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cousins, nephews, sons, just it goes down the line pretty much.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, now that we got a little introduction to the street life in a way, right? We kind of brushed over it. Tell me about you hitting county jail. I'm sure you hit county jail
A
once or
few times.
twice or a couple times,
More than one. Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Was there different gang factions in the county jail?
Yeah. But they were always segregated from us.
Always.
We pretty much run that jail, as far as a gang. One, I mean, as a dog, we run that the whole thing. Cause the main jail over there, they have North Jail, main jail, and the old jail. The old jail was converted into for the females. They're just actually building another part of the jail. They're adding on. So, but we pretty much have one, two, three, all the way to five, I say, floors that are
Damn,
just dogs. And
damn.
we have A pod, B, all the way to F pod. Okay. And the other ones, they'll probably have like one pod to themselves, and then the Southerners another pod to themselves. But yeah, they stay pretty much just like two to three pods. They ain't that many.
So no intermingling, no open day room together, no dorm settings together.
Okay, there is a dorm setting, but that's in the North Jail.
Okay,
North Jail is a dorm setting, and there is three bunks in each, in the
right.
dorm. So pretty much that's just the North Jail. And that's probably like for low level offenders, people that are going to get out and first timers, because main jail is cell living. And that's also three bunks, but those bunks go all the way to the ceiling, pretty
Okay.
much.
The what is it right there? Sheriff deputies that are watching you guys in
Yeah,
the
they're
jail.
sheriff. Yeah, they're
How
sheriff.
how is their conduct? How do they conduct themselves?
Just depending on the seal, but majority of them, we had good rapport with them. We were always trying to be on their good side because at the end of the day, we didn't want to be slammed down. We wanted to have that day room. We wanted to have our visits. And, a lot of us were going to court. And that's where, sometimes it would go. We would crack off because going to court, we would sometimes cross paths with them.
Oh man, hold up. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So during court, right? I know the whole court. Everybody gets shackled up. Everybody gets put on vans, buses.
We nope, not us.
What do you guys do?
Oh, well, we go from our pod, we go out to the elevator, we go down to the downstairs, and then we come out, and then they send us down a tunnel, walking by
Oh
ourselves,
wow, wow.
and because the courthouse is right across the street.
Wow, wow. See, this is great, man.
Yeah, so we walk down the hall, down the tunnel, all the way down, and sometimes the COs on that end, you know, they'll send somebody that they don't know if we're walking or not. Sometimes there's not communication there, and we'll cross paths with somebody that either is, a DO or somebody from the other side. But a lot of times, we it's cool. We just go to court and back because when we get to the end of that tunnel, there are COs there, and they do shackle you and they put you in the tank. Then they call you out, and then they send you another place while you're shackled through the door, and you go to court.
When you're going through that tunnel, are you in restraints at all?
No,
Damn. Damn. Is your opposition in restraints?
no.
No, my goodness. So it's just a fucking escort. Just an
Yeah,
escort.
yeah. Like the CO, he'll be sitting in the chair, and once you come down the elevator, he comes out and he'll hold you in that elevator because it's closed. It's closed. And so if he has somebody walking, he'll have you sit there and wait
Right, right,
until the other person comes. And then he'll open that one and then he'll say, all right, go down. And he'll let the other ends know that you're coming. You know what I mean?
right,
But sometimes,
right. Yeah.
it slips through
You
the cracks.
correct, correct. And usually, if we see something like that, if we catch it, right, we'll have you guys post up against the wall and say, "Hey, face the wall, put your hands behind your back," right, just to keep you. But I mean, if you guys are gonna go, you guys are gonna go. That's
Oh, yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be no CO, no nobody to stop you guys at all.
Nope. No. And pretty much they don't try to until they have,
Right.
backup come or they have CERT team come.
What does this tunnel look like, man? Because in my head, I'm imagining some type of dungeon, or is it modern? Is it a
No, it's
hallway?
actually it's just like walk. It's not a tunnel like that. It's more like well, yeah, like it's like corporate. It's like going to the shoe, and to corporate. You know what I mean? You're
Oh,
pretty much
okay.
walking. It's just
Through pods.
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
small corridor.
Corridors.
It's a small
Corridors.
corridor. It's a little probably maybe a good minute
Oh,
walk.
okay.
Yeah, it's a little ways.
All right. So from there, county, you guys go to the state prisons.
Hmm.
From your knowledge, right? Again, because I have no knowledge of any of this, are
Okay.
there certain prisons that you guys are only authorized to be at per CDCR policy before they started mixing you guys?
Yeah. Reception is ours. Wasco. That's our
Okay.
reception. That belongs to us, and from there we pretty much they house us there, and we wait to see our counselor. And once our counselor finds out, goes over our case and how many points we have, then they'll figure out where they're going to send us to the main line. And from there, we either go to Pleasant Valley, Corcoran, Salinas, and just depends if you have low points. At that time, back when I was there, Avenal was not SNY because now it's all SNY. So it was had actives there, but so they would send us there. But majority of times it was Pleasant Valley, Corcoran or the new Corcoran, or it was Solano and Salinas.
All right. So,
Or
okay. So,
Soledad, my bad. Sorry, Soledad.
so for the viewers that are outside of California or don't have knowledge, the prisons he just described right now are all Central California. They're all
Hmm.
right there in the middle. Um, man, this is the way I would perceive it to be. It's like, I was in the military. I deployed to Iraq. I know I'm going into a war zone. Is that the
So,
thought process on your end?
oh yeah, yeah, of course. Especially being a dog,
That's
you
what
know.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Especially being us, like we're always on our toes. We're always waiting, and we're pretty much gonna jump before probably the other person jumps.
Strategy.
Always. Yes, what I mean, because we know what's coming. We're already anticipating it. What I mean, we're already knowing. Okay, we're gonna go here because when you before you leave reception, you know where you're going. You know, and when you get there, pretty much on the way over there, you're already mindset. As soon as I walk through that door and they start they're gonna house me, what unit they're gonna put me in, what building, then we're already looking around. We're on our toes. Who's that person? Who's this? And we're pretty much on our toes all day, every day.
That has to be mentally exhausting, man.
It can be at times, but you know, we've I think we've gotten used to it and we've adapted to that, and we know what it's coming for and we live up to that as far as, expect the unexpected.
It's almost like you guys have adapted a warrior mentality.
Of course, we've always had that, especially I have been to Preston. I was in YA, and that was Gladiator Zone. You
Let, t-
know.
before I jump into the state prison, you just mentioned Gladiator Zone, and I never been a YA, right? I've never worked there, but from everybody that I hear, they said YA was on and cracking.
Oh yeah, it was cracking always, always, and especially for us, like we were always outnumbered up there. Majority of the time we were, and over there it was more easier to get off. You know, and we are getting off pretty much every damn day, every day.
Is that
Because I
because of?
went,
Go ahead.
I went from Preston to Wasco. You know, that was my sentence. You know, so when I went there, when I got to Wasco, I was a YA baby. You know, and when we're YA babies, we pretty much think we're the shit. You know what I mean? We want to do what we want to do. You know, we're hopping fences on
Damn.
people. Oh yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
The reason that you guys were cracking off every day at YA, was that because there was just more program, more freedom?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because we'd have to go to school there. You know, we'd have to go walk through the hallways, and then when we go to yard, pretty much, it pretty much crack out, especially with the Northerners. It was mainly with them. You know,
Really?
yeah, because of what went on. You know,
Right.
we left them. We dropped the organization from them. We weren't going to be part of that no more.
Now, was that personal or was that business when you guys would go at it?
More personal
Really?
than business. Yeah, I would say that. Because at the end of the day, that's what if we wouldn't have left, we still would have been them. We still would have been part of that. But good thing that we did because at the end of the day, they're all over the place right now.
They're not the only ones all over the place, man.
Yeah, I know that part too. But as far as for us,
Yeah.
those were our main oppositions. They
Oh,
were,
okay. I didn't even know that. Right. I kind of I always figured the Sureños for some reason, the Southsiders. I don't know why. Maybe.
and there was a time while I was in there. There was a time that we did have an alliance with them, with the
Really?
Southerners. Yes. Because they pretty much knew that we are cracking off and they knew we were outnumbered, but everybody wants program, everybody wants visits, they want to pretty much let everything flow normal. So they had us for a little while,
For a little
but
while, and
then
then
that went sideways. Then that went
correct,
sideways.
correct. Yeah, I think I heard something about that. Um, so you were at YA, then you hit from Wasco. Where did you touch down?
Pleasant Valley. I was
Pleasant
in
Valley.
yeah, I was in BR.
Bravo Yard.
Yeah.
What type of facility was that?
Um I was on the level 4 right there and it was in the 180, you know. It was more of a 270 design there. It was all right. We had BR there. That's when we were aligned with the Southerners, and we cracked off a couple of times there. And after that, after I was there, I wasn't there that long, and I ended up getting moved, and I ended up going to Salinas, and I was in CR the level 4 180 there.
Was it different between Pleasant Valley and Salinas Valley State Prison?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. But because in Salinas, we're slammed down.
Slam?
We're we're slammed down. They do not give us a lot of program. Even right now, we're slammed down over there.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting because I wore green. I was on the staff side, but I kind of figured like how the hell are they allowed to slam you guys down for that period of long or separate you guys like that?
Because as soon as the door cracked, like okay, as far as over there, they would have us on the top tier, and they'd have like the Northerners or the Southerners, or even the new flowers that were down there, because it's pretty much like the hole, you know. So when the door would crack, like we would try to rush somebody, and if we hit yard, it was rare. It's rare, you know what I mean? And the last time we hit yard, something happened, and yeah, we've been slammed down since they've been moving us. And once they moved us to Pelican Bay, they moved like 35 of us over there. You know, they started sending us back over here. And right now, it's like a little checklist. They're moving us around to pretty much. I think they're forcing us to try to, you know, debrief or
They're trying to
at the end of the
figure
day.
they're trying to figure it out. Yeah.
yeah, and it's not going to happen. They can't, and it sucks that they're using us like guinea pigs.
Correct. Correct. We'll get there. You mentioned the doors cracking in Salinas Valley, 180. You said Charlie Yard,
Yeah.
level 4. Did the doors ever crack? Did you guys ever have opportunities to get off?
Oh yeah, yeah. And there's times that you can't pop your own door.
Okay.
You know how that goes. You know how that come on. We
Right,
we
right.
know how to pop doors. And if you're an inmate, a veteran, or you've been around, you know how to pop them doors if you really want to. And if you need to get to somebody, then you can.
Let me elaborate on that, man. So, as an officer, we have a panel where we pop the doors, right? Where we can open and close doors depending on what prison you're at. Some doors
Yeah,
you just push the button and the door pops open. Other
right.
prisons you manually open it and manually close it. While the inmates have found a way to manipulate the light that shows whether the door is open or closed. So on the panel, looks like everything's all good and every door is closed. But he just
Hmm.
said, "Hey, we know how to crack those doors." And I
Yes,
knew
we
that.
do.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Um, damn, dude. Is okay. I'm not gonna. Okay, without diving into politics, even though this isn't a political thing, man, what is the
Right.
goal? Is the goal just to program or not to program? Is the goal
The
to
goal
always
is
get off?
to not always. There was times that we did want our visits. We did want, what I mean, to go to yard. We wanted to have day room, but just some homies are knuckleheads. What I mean, they're hard headed and they're just like fuck it, and we can't let him or that person fucking go by himself. What I mean, we're gonna ride all together, and that's what we do. But there was times, we had yard. We did what we do, and we try to maintain that yard as long as we can. But even in Wasco, and that's our reception, we hardly got yard. And I was in D guard, and I was in D guard D5, and I was on B side, and that right there, like they had the Southerners on the top and us on the bottom. And when they'd go to yard, sometimes, like I said, we hit fences when they were on yard. Sometimes. And it's ugly, man. But it is what it is. If it's on site, it's on site.
Correct. What was going through your mind, and how do you guys feel that you guys are in the cell? Because those cells are tiny, man. You can touch from one side to another. You're in the cell with another man. There's one toilet there. How did you feel seeing the other races, the other organizations, the other gangs go to yard, get their visits, moving their stuff around?
Favoritism.
That's how you
At the
guys
end of
viewed
the day,
it.
at the end of the day, the COs know that we don't abide by anybody's rules, so they know that they can't. Nobody can control us, but they can. They can control the door. They can control our yard and our program. You know, pretty much
I think, bro, I think it's just like, hey, we don't know what to do with these guys. We don't know
that
what to
right
do with
there.
them.
That part, and it's just, and since they don't know what to do with us, hey, slam them down. They want to be out there running the mud. They want to slam them down. No visits. But even if we're slammed down, sometimes we can get a visit. And that's where things happen. We're like, what? We're gonna crack it off in the visit, and after we're done with our visits, we're gonna crack it off, and it's just what it is. But
Um, let's talk about that. In a in another prison, in another time, visiting areas are considered neutral zones, right? Neutral. Don't fight in front of the families. Don't do nothing wild. I mean,
yeah, that's what
are
we would.
wait.
We go like that too. But if it's hey, my visit's done. I don't care about yours.
Fuck. All right, that's kind of what I was elaborating, getting at.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm gonna finish my visit. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
on my way out, hey, why not fuck up your
Fuck.
visit?
There you go, man.
I won't get
Wow.
visited again, anyways. I'm gonna go slam down.
Wow. Okay, I see. Okay, now it's all like adding up, right? I see. It's just a
Hmm.
constant cycle. It's just
Yeah,
constant chaos, just
and
chasing
if
it.
pretty much, and if it ain't with anybody else because we're slammed down so much, or we have our own yard and our own day room, we pretty much go at each other's because we ain't got nobody else.
Now that's also what I heard. Okay, They're like, damn, these fucking bulldogs go off on everybody. They go off on themselves. And this was coming from COs that came from those prisons, Pleasant
Right.
Valley, Salinas. Hey, these dudes fight, man. These dudes fight all like, um, fuck. You think that's almost like a mentality? Is it coming from boredom? Is it coming from like a boxer that wants to do sparring and
No, it's
practice?
more of it's embedded in us that like we're everybody's against us. You know what I mean? We don't trust you. We're gonna get off on you before you get the chance to get off on us because we know pretty much that they're plotting. You know what I mean? They're plotting on us. They're waiting for their opportunity. So we're not gonna give you that opportunity. You know what I mean? We're gonna do it before you even get a chance. And we're not gonna wait. Oh, we're gonna wait to the yard and we're gonna hit them this day. No, hell no. We're gonna do it before you do. Even if it's two of us or three of us.
I don't know if you watch my channel or not, man, but I like to
I
dive.
do.
You do? I
Yes, I
like to
do.
Thank you for that. But I like to dive into the mindset of things, man. And it's all starting to make sense now, right? Like I said, when I came in, I had no knowledge of the Fresno Bulldogs, man. I thought you guys were just a wild fucking bunch, man. And nah, dude, it's this is systemic. This is like from generation to generation of fighting, fighting. You've adopted that warrior mentality. The guys have adopted the us versus the world mentality, and it seems to just be trickling down and passed down and like almost in your guys' hardwiring almost.
Yeah, it's embedded in us, and pretty much it's like the other, like the Northerners and Southerners. They train their soldiers. They train their people. They get them ready for militant. We stay ready.
That's that right there. That right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Soon, like they got the program. They got to do their programs. They got to do their burpees and all
Right.
that. Nah, while you're doing your burpees, we're coming. We're gonna be coming. Like we're already on it. Like it's already instilled in us. We fight all day, every day. You know, so why why sit there and train our people and get them really ready for war or anything else to jump off? We stay on it
Uh,
from out here,
It makes
from out
sense.
here to in there.
How important is rutina to you guys?
It
No?
ain't important.
It's not important?
No, 'cause we stay fit. You know,
Okay.
we do our own program. We don't do it like the rutina like them. You know what I mean? As a
Right.
group. You know, I'll bust down with my Sally, and if another homie wants to bust down, he come bust down. But pretty much we do our own routines. We do our own workouts and how we want to do it. How many times we want to do it. You know, and pretty much that's
Oh.
what it is for us.
So yeah, so hey, you leave it up to you. Okay. Another question, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but would you guys consider yourself loose cannons?
Um, I would say yes and no, but it just depends. It really does depend because there are a lot of homies that just want to chill and kick back. You know what I mean for a little bit. You know, but the younger generation that's coming around and they pretty much want to just get off everywhere every little while. Like, damn, I'm like, damn, I'm tired, dude. Like, all right, we're gonna get off. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's your homies barking in the background, man, or your
No,
actual
no, that's
dogs,
my. Yeah, I
but
got pit
yeah.
bulls, man. I got pit bulls.
Okay. And
Yeah.
is that a thing where you guys bark before an engagement?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, yes and no. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, yeah. We're gonna bark, you know what I mean? But we pretty much bang at the same time on them. You know, they know who's coming at them. And back in the day, I think we did bark a lot, but you know, that's just to let them know who we are. You know, it's like a dog alerting you. Don't come in this territory. You know what I mean? Don't come around. You know?
Almost like a war cry.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, because at the end of the day, nobody else has that.
Correct. Correct. I'm telling you, man, we're onto something here.
Right,
so,
right, 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 right,
um,
right.
so we got a very good understanding of why you guys
Right.
are always locked down in those prisons that you guys are always at.
Mhm.
Do you know the year that they decided to start mixing you guys to other prisons? Was it last year?
I want to say it was last year. If it wasn't last, yeah, actually it was last year. But it was like little portions of us. You know what I mean? They said a little handful here, but they tried to integrate us as much as they could. Then they tried to put us on those 50-50 yards. You know what I mean? The homies on the low level, and at the end of the day, that was not happening at all. We weren't accepting that, but I did hear, a couple times that, we were um, doing a couple things with people that are like new flowers, and at the end of the day, they're they're non-actives. They're not
Correct.
active,
Correct.
and it just sucks because, we shouldn't be riding with them, but it is what it is.
Right. Right.
Like
Right.
I said, we ain't got nobody to answer to or anything like that.
Um, my next question is gonna be when CDCR implemented the non-designated program, and they said,
Hmm.
"Hey, GPs and SNYs are gonna mix."
Right, right.
The way they were doing it was the managers were what's that shit called? When they admonish you, they were admonishing them, "Hey, you're gonna be a non-designated inmate. Sign here or don't sign here. We don't give a fuck. We just admonished you anyways." And then they would mix them. Did they do that with the Bulldogs? Admonish them, or did they give them a heads up?
Mm, no, actually, they didn't at all. They
No,
just said, "Hey,
no
you guys,
committee.
pack your shit. You guys are going. You're moving. Well, what the hell? Where am I going? Oh, where you going over here? Oh shit. All right, fuck it. Let's go. All right, homie. Tell your Sally, because sometimes your Sally wouldn't even go with you. All right, my boy. All right, dog. We're on our way. Where you going? Shit, over here. Oh, all right. Be cool. And they probably like sent 10 of us over there. And shit, we get there, and first thing we do, everybody assumes we ain't getting off that bus.
Correct.
We're getting
Ooh,
off.
man,
We are getting off.
man. Okay, this is the same times we were hearing rumors. There was stuff flying around, wondering, hey, are these guys gonna get off the bus, right? And it's like, yeah, of course they're gonna get off the bus because that's what they do, right? They don't. I mean, it almost seems like every other the Sureños were doing it too, going to the non-designated. They were going, but they were going heads up against like fucking 40 SNY. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah,
because you guys cannot tell us no, we can't. You know what I mean? You have to
yeah.
get off.
We have to, but we
Now,
do it like we do it proudly. Like, oh, we're
right.
gonna. We already know when we get there. We're pretty much talking to other homies that are with us. All right, hey, we go here. This. Hey, this is what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? We all gotta stick together. Whoever's gonna go on these yards, you watch each other and just take off. Take off on who we gotta get to and go to the hole. Get slammed down. You know what I mean?
Did you guys initially realize what was happening, or did it take a couple incidents for it to register?
No, we already knew. We knew.
Really?
Yeah, we knew. We knew what was gonna happen. We knew what they were trying to do, and they did it. They started it with us. They started with us.
Facts, 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 facts. So what they're trying to do, man, and I've kind of skimmed over this on my channel, is that they're gonna completely get rid of SNY and GP.
Mhm.
And it's either gonna be an inmate you either program or you don't program. Period. They're gonna mix everybody. The ones that fight are gonna go to a certain prison. The ones that don't fight are gonna go to another prison.
Good luck.
And then,
Good luck.
no,
Good luck.
what is fucked up is like you stated earlier, man. Guinea pigs.
Yeah,
That's unethical. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
not.
Because you don't see them doing that with the other organizations. You don't see that at all. You know why? Because they know the power that they have. You know what I mean? But little do they know, we got that same amount of power, just not that structure.
They are gonna start doing it with everybody, man. They're gonna do it with everybody.
Eventually, yeah.
They are.
But they had to start off with somebody. Why not
Correct.
us? Because they could have started with the blacks or the whites.
True. True.
But why us?
They viewed you guys as headaches, and they wanted to
Yeah, they're
get.
tired of us. And the CEOs treat us like shit.
They do because of that.
Yeah, they're tired of dealing with paperwork. They're tired of dealing with us taking off and fucking up program. And like I said, they treat us like shit. There's
That's
some CEOs that are cool,
right, right,
but
right.
majority of them, they treat us like shit.
I can see that. Um, you mentioned getting off and going to the hole. Now, there's certain incidents that'll send you to the hole. battery on the inmate with a weapon, attempted murder, right? Because a fist fight isn't necessarily going to send you to the hole. Or were you guys thinking about that?
Well, if we had something on it, then yeah, we're gonna use it. You know, if
Correct.
there's something around us, a chair, whatever is around, we could do, we're gonna grab because we're outnumbered. You know, so we're gonna try to grab whatever we can
Okay.
and use it. So we're gonna do our best to either, you know, take your win or hurt you really bad.
Right, right, right. Um, I don't know if you want to speak on this or do you have knowledge of the Ironwood incident?
So what was that?
I don't know if you want to elaborate or if you can or if you want to speak on what happened on Ironwood. If you even have information with when they try to
Um,
integrate there.
I really don't know too much
No.
about the Ireland incident.
What about Calipat? You know any the ones or anything major that cracked off?
Actually, I do know of a couple of them. The Solano. I would think it was Solano. They moved us, or I think that was Solano. They moved like 10 of us out there, and yeah, it was yeah they got the upper hand on us, but we maintained and we took off on them, and we already knew where we were going. Just pretty much, we were too outnumbered, man. Too many. You know, it was probably like 50, 60 of them on just 10 of us. But you know, none of us. They didn't do anything fatal. It just got a lot of homies. A couple homies got really hurt really bad. You know, and it's kind of unfortunate to know that CDC will actually be cool with that and sending small portions of us. If you're gonna move us all, and at least
Oh
in big
man,
numbers. Give us a chance. You know
we
what I'm
can
saying?
we can
It's
talk
like they're
about that.
trying to pretty much feed us to the lions out there. And we're lions too, but we're dog lions. You know what I mean? We're gonna come at you guys, but we know we're always outnumbered, and the COs know that. You know, and it is what it is. But you know, that's how we take it. We expect the unexpected, and we're gonna go with the flow. And hey, let's do this. Let's go.
So you mentioned non-fatal, but let to the viewers out there, man, don't get it twisted. Just because something is non-fatal does not mean that people are not getting fucked up, right?
Exactly.
People can be within inches, centimeters of death, and it will be
Exactly. Beaten to
non-fatal.
death. Yes, almost beaten. You know, and like I said, it's unfortunate a couple of homies got hurt really bad. You know what I mean? And one had to be, I think it was, he fighted out of there. You
Yeah.
know, but it wasn't. He almost did, but he survived. You know what I mean? And it
Well,
sucks.
that's good that he survived, man. And I say this from a neutral standpoint and a realist and the ethical man, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And okay, you know that I wasn't cool with that, man. There was a lot of things that I was not cool with in my career, which caused me to step away, right? Walk away,
Uh-huh.
right out that fucking front door. I was already out and on YouTube when the Bulldogs started getting integrated. Um, did
Uh-huh.
did you happen to catch my video on the Fresno Bulldogs that I put out?
Yeah, I did actually. I think I had talked to you about it when I had met you the first time,
Yeah.
and yeah, I did hear about that, and I seen that you didn't agree, and uh, I was kind of like, "Cool, that's good, man." So that's kind of why I do watch your channel. You know what I mean? You're not favoritism, and you do have, you know, your beliefs and strong beliefs of what's ethical and what's not. You know, and what's right from wrong, and that you see that they're doing us wrong. You know, and I was like, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of CEOs don't even care. Straight up, they don't.
A lot of CEOs do care though. A lot of CEOs do care.
They
But
they do,
they don't know
but to a
how
certain
to
point.
voice it and they don't know how to act upon it. Trust me, because we have these
Okay.
conversations. We have these
But
conversations behind the scenes, right?
okay. Yeah.
I was a lieutenant, so I'm chopping it up with sergeants. I'm chopping it up with officers. And we're talking like, hey, this is fucked up. And I'm talking about when we were mixing the SNYs and the GPs, but it's the same shit that when they mixed you guys. Um,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, this is fucked up. Like, this is wrong. Like, we had lieutenants fighting with captains in the office, like verbal arguments. Hey, what you're doing is wrong. This is fucking
Right.
wrong. And believe it or not, man, they would flex their rank, their power, their authority over us, and then threaten to get us in trouble for being insubordinate.
Wow.
I've seen it over and over and over again, man. Over.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, dude, and that's what's unfortunate because it becomes dangerous for the staff members because did you feel at any point we should just go off on the cops to get this shit over with?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, because how are we gonna get our point across? We
Exactly.
can't, we can't voice it. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? We can't. So at the end of the day, might as well we show our voice through violence.
Correct.
So, and if you can't hear us this way, because we keep telling you guys keep putting it there, we're gonna do this, and we keep showing it. And if you guys ain't gonna hear us, then hey, we'll make it a point to you.
I'm not even knocking you, man. I'm not even knocking you guys because I see it and I was involved in it.
Uh-huh.
With the Southsiders at Donovan on A yard when they did the
Uh-huh.
same shit, putting
Mhm.
SNY inmates, dudes with bad paperwork on that yard. Those Southsiders were stabbing those dudes, slashing those dudes,
Yeah, yeah,
and nothing was happening to those Southsiders. They weren't going to the hole and they weren't getting rolled up off the yard. So I told my
see,
staff, they're gonna come after us next. Watch. And
hmm,
on a Sunday, from the morning to night, staff assaults all day long, man. And that was fucking unfortunate. That was bound to happen.
yeah, yeah, and it does happen, and we're a lot of us are fed up, and I can't speak for my homies that are still behind them walls.
Fuck.
We're fed up, and it's gonna come to the point where, we're not just going against the inmate, we're
Correct.
gonna go against the other, the correctional, but hopefully it doesn't go that way.
That's inevitable. But if I do may give you my 2 cents, going the legal route will be effective, and I know it will be because you know how fucking California is with lawsuits and this and that. And I know maybe that may not be you guys' style, but hey, if you guys want to get fucking paid for the bullshit they're putting you guys through, why not? Why not?
Well, actually, there is people, me trying to do stuff like that on this end, me
Good.
with my homies, and it just sucks that it's a process.
It is
You
a
know what I mean?
process. Years.
It's a long process. You know what I mean? Filing. You know what I mean? Petitioning. You know what I mean? Sending to the people on the top. And making sure it gets to them. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Because at the end of the day, legal mail has to get processed the right way. You
Correct.
know, and and it, and then we have to wait. And then if it gets denied or we have to appeal it, it's a process, man. And that whole time in that process, shit's cracking off. We're getting moved. This things are happening.
And
So
you
it's
guys
like we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't.
and you guys are showing no sign of slowing down, stopping, fucking ain't no, it ain't even a
Nope.
thought.
All gas, no brake.
That's what's up, man. I hear you. I fuck it. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's
Um
exactly what we say. Fuck it.
and bro, I don't encourage violence. That ain't me. I ain't preaching here shit. Like nothing negative, but
Right, right.
I see what's going on.
Yeah, it's a reality of life in this life like this.
And people can say, "Oh, well, just don't fight. Don't fight and get along." But I don't
Easier said than done.
yeah, man, this is years and years and years of hostilities.
Yeah,
We get it, California, man.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And then they're moving us out of state. They're moving some of us out of state.
this is the first time
Yeah.
I hear about this right now.
Oh no, I got homies in different states that are doing time. Oklahoma and Arizona, stuff like that. Like I
Up
got a
until
couple homies in the feds.
recently?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. We got homies in the feds. We got homies in different states. That they've been moving us places, and they're only moving like two or three of us to different states, and in the feds also too. We're up in there, and we're way outnumbered.
So you guys are outnumbered to begin with, right out the gate, and then they're the way they're trickling you guys in is even lesser numbers. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe eight. I think they said Ironwood was like eight Fresno Bulldogs against fucking like
Hmm.
100.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the method behind the madness. I can't tell you. Um, fuck, man. To be honest with you, we did do that shit. We did that shit on minimum yard at Donovan, and I was a part of that right there in the fucking trenches, man, with the 40 millimeter, the Big Bertha, as a lieutenant. And
Yeah.
it was 10 inmates here and 10 inmates here. Walk them to the dorms. The dorms were full of the enemy. yeah, it fucking cracked off, man. And I don't understand why they do the numbers like that. Maybe we want, I don't know, a smaller incident. I don't know.
And it's not. It's pretty much feeding us. Like I said, they're splitting us up. They'll send a portion of us here, but then that portion that they send to different buildings. You know
Correct.
what I mean? They'll split us up, and I'm like, shit. Like, really? You guys split us up, take us from here, then split us up again?
Yeah.
Come on now. Like, you're pretty much. There's no
So
there's no chance of us winning. You know what I mean? And then we're straight coming from the bus. We're not even. I mean, we haven't pretty much armed ourselves. We're not ready yet, but hey, we're gonna find something. We're gonna be ready. It is what it is, and that's how it is. And it sucks that CDC does know that. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And they can, if they can on their end be like, you know what, we brought 10 of them over here. Let's keep that 10 together. You know what I mean? Why split that 10 in half?
I have to be honest with you, man. Those calls are coming from above us because it's you're. There's plenty of times where I said, "Hey, let's let everybody all get off. Let them all get off. Right? Bring 100 versus 100. Fuck it. Boom.
Right,
Because that would be fair.
right. And it's not fair. You know what I mean?
So now
And
that's
I guess
coming.
that's what makes us more vicious, more violent. Because at the end of the day, like we know what's coming, and so shit. Hey man, we're tired. We're tired of the bullshit.
I'm glad we're talking about this, man. I'm glad we were able to air it out, talk about it, inform the masses because it's not cool, man. It is. It's unethical, man. That's the only fucking word I can continue to use because, like,
Right,
when the hell would you ever purposely send a lamb to a slaughter in any
right,
in any scenario?
right. You know, and it's fucked up to say. You know what I mean? And it's gonna continue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're trying to pretty much get rid of us,
No,
but we're not going
they're
nowhere.
trying to make an example out of you guys.
Yeah, and we're the wrong ones to use as an example.
Fuck, man.
We're the
Well,
wrong ones.
do you want to have any last sharing messages that you would like to share with the crowd, man? The floor is yours, dude. It was a pleasure, an honor chopping it up with you, dude, because this is a side I had never heard about.
Yeah, you know, and I appreciate you having me on here, you know. And yeah, at the end of the day, man, this life ain't something to glorify, you know, especially being on as a dog and being from Fresno, you know, and going up against a lot of other people. Like, just know if you're gonna be in this life, just know it's coming towards you, you know, and you don't want that for your kids and your brothers and loved ones, you know. Just know, be there to support whoever is behind them walls and know that, you know, do your guys' end to come and help us that are in there. Because at the end of the day, we can only do so much behind them walls, you know? And just everybody, just, you know, go to school, get an education, educate yourself, you know, get a good job. You know what I mean? Then day, this life is nothing to glorify at all. You know, it only ends in violence. You know what I mean? People losing their lives and, you know, putting our loved ones through the bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's not worth it.
Facts,
But
facts.
it is what it is, you know?
Well, facts, man. Well said. Hit the nail right on the head. Thank you for coming on here. I'm gonna wish you the best of luck, man, moving forward, and I absolutely mean that, man. Wish you the best of luck. I hope, I hope positive things happen in your life, man. If you know what I mean.
Oh, actually, yeah, man, I've been out since 2015 and I
Fuck
haven't been
yeah,
back,
that's what's
you
up,
know,
man.
and I had two numbers and I did give them both back. And
There you go.
I do have a Class A license. I drive a diesel. So, you know,
Hell yeah.
you can stay active and live a normal life. That's the best part of not having uh, someone to answer to.
A big homie, right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Let me close it out, but go ahead and stay on here. Well,
All
there
right.
you guys have it. That was an inside into the Fresno Bulldogs. Some of this shit, well, the majority, I never even heard, knew the side, the story, the mindset. But there you guys have it, man. Bringing it every single day. Keep pushing forward.